Remember Daddy was in 90 in January. He was on 16 years in September. Nobody knew about AIDS till Mary died. Right? Nobody knew what? Nobody's brother AIDS till Mary died.
We'll begin with the Shalom Aleichem on page number 5. On page 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vo'achem l'shalom, malachei ha'shalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu l'shalom, malachei ha'shalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seitchem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. And on page 11, the Chunaranana. Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai. Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, nekadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, vizmira naria lo. Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai. Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, nekadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, bizmira naria lo. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands form the earth's deep. Mountain crests too are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai. Arba'im shana kut v'dor v'omar to'e levahem v'hem lo'idud rachai asher nishbati v'api im yavon el menuchati. On page 13, tonight I'm looking at the first two short lines, that first stanza, and reminding us that the reason that Kabbalat Shabbat began a mere 500 years ago was to get us to sing new songs. So here's a new song. It's the song sheet. It looks like it's Spanish. It's actually, it's Ladino. It's Bendigamos. And Bendigamos comes to remind us that we are to sing and praise and bless in all of our languages. Bendigamos el Altísimo.
Bendigamos a el Altísimo, al Señor que nos crió. démosle agradecimiento por lo bueno que nos dio. Bendigamos a el Altísimo, su merced nunca nos faltó. Odula Adonai Kitov, ki leolam chasdo. Bendigamos a el Altísimo por el pan primeramente y después por los manjares que comimos juntamente, pues comimos y bebimos alegremente, su merced nunca nos faltó. Odula Adonai Kitov, ki leolam chasdo. Bendita sea la casa muestra, que nunca manque en ella fiesta, tarde, mañana y siesta, amos y a todo Israel.
Todo Israel, for us and for all of Israel.
So independence is Sunday, 75 years.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. Speaking of Israel, on page number 16 on the English side. Worshippers of idols, be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme, bow before God. Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult as you, Adonai, pass judgment. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine. Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. Light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. Or Zerula Tzadik Yishlev Simcha, Simchu Tzadikim Baranoi, Vodu Lezecher Kodsho. Please turn to page 21. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai B'nei Elim, Havul Adonai Kavod Vos, Havul Adonai Kavod Shemo, Hishtachavul Adonai B'Hadrat Kodesh. Kol Adonai al Hamoyim, El Kavod Hirim, Adonai al Mayim Rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shaber arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon. Varkinem kamo egel, Lebanon v'Sirion, kamo v'nreimim. Kol Adonai chotzei v'avotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadosh, Kol Adonai yacholel ayolot, Vayechesof ya'arot, Uvechalo kulo amer kavod, Adonai lamabul yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. We turn to the opening of L'Charodi, the first two stanzas on 23, the last two stanzas on page 25. L'Chadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmeanu elam yuchad, Adonai echad, Oshmo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'letila. lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, likrat Shabbat lecho, v'neilcha ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, yamin osmo tiferatzi v'et Adonai taritzi al yadish ben parzi v'nismecha v'nagila lecha dodi lekrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela boi v'shalom materet bala gam besimcha o betzala tok emune am segula boi chala lecha dodi lekrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela yai dai 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 yada da 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 dai 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 yada da 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 dai 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 yada da 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 dai yai dai da dai yada da da dai. Remaining standing for a moment. Looking at page 27, we're familiar with the Psalm for Shabbat, and we also know that there are 150 Psalms in the Bible, and they're all numbered. Some have a few names, only a few of names. And if you look at page 28, you see Psalm 92, and when Kabbalat Shabbat is becoming innovated. Initially, I think this was the ending point of Kabbalat Shabbat, and we went right to the Ma'ariv, but something a little bit unusual happened. Instead of only thinking about the theme of the psalm, look at page number 29. And we have a psalm here which in general is talking about praising God, which isn't a surprise because many psalms praise God, obviously. But it comes here and it really echoes some of the earlier psalms in the Friday evening service. I think it comes here because in the Bible, it follows the Psalm for Shabbos. That's all. In the Bible, it follows the Psalm for Shabbos. And so when they took Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat, out of the Bible and put it in the Siddur, somebody thought, well, it follows in the Bible, let's put it in the prayer book too. So we haven't said this in a while. We're on page 29. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned. You are eternal. The rivers rise up, Adonai. The rivers raise up their roar. The rivers raise up their waves. Above the roar of the vast sea and the majestic breakers of the ocean, Adonai stands supreme in the heavens. In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai. And we're seated now, the bracha, opening the Ma'ariv on page number 39b. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space. You completed your work of creation on the seventh day, calling this day from one evening to the next the holy Shabbat, and gave this day of rest and all its holiness to your people Israel, creator of day and night, rolling light before darkness and darkness from light, making day pass and bringing on the evening, distinguishing day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Who brings each evening's dusk El Chai V'Kayom, Tamidim Lo Chalen Olam Voed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Arabim. And now on page 40, pardon me. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadita Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shachveinu u'v'kumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki em chayenu v'orech yameinu v'orech yameinu u'v'hem negeh yomam v'layla V'avotecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartabam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha Ukeshartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'sharecha. I'm going to in silence on page number 42. Adonai Elohechem emet. God, your God, is a source of truth. In fact, there's a mystical writing that teaches that emet, emes, could be considered a name of God, because God is the embodiment of truth. So, blessed be the name of God. With that, the song by Saul K. Yehi Shem, blessed be the name of God.
Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai Nevarach. Blessed be the name, blessed be the name, oh, blessed be the name of the Lord. Yikevod Adonai le'olam, Yishmach Adonai l'masav. May the glory of Hashem endure forever. Let Hashem rejoice in His words. Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai Nevarach. Blessed be the name, blessed be the name, oh, blessed be the name of the Lord. Mizrach Shemesh Abnevo Nechula Hashem Adonai. From the rising of the sun to its setting, oh, Hashem's name is to be praised. Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai Nevarach. Blessed be the name, blessed be the name, oh, blessed be the name of the Lord. Ramakogoyim Adonai Ad Hashamayim Kivodo. High above the nation, yes, Hashem. Oh, above the heavens does He shine. Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai, Yishem Adonai Nevarach. Blessed be the name, blessed be the name, oh, blessed be the name of the Lord. Come on.
Turning to page 44. Page 44. Umalchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael lecha anu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha po'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh norat Tilot Osefele Malchutecha Ra'uvanecha Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe Zeli Anu V'yamru Adonai Yimloch לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. You've heard me say before that the Hashkivenu was originally composed as a prayer to be recited by an individual upon going to sleep at night. It's very sunny out. It's almost afternoon, we might say. But Hashkivenu is anticipating that when you and I are at home and we are in the privacy of our own thoughts, it's quiet, and we're preparing for slumber, that there may be a bit of anxiety or concern for each one of us. So the Siddur places before us the Hashkivenu, a prayer which is calling out with incredibly powerful language the need that God be with each and every one of us, and God tuck us all in. That's Hashkivenu. On the English. Hashkivenu Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. The canopy of peace over us. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. And I brought another song sheet. It's the other song sheet. It starts with Psalm 27, but the song actually that we're singing in just a moment is Biado, which is on the lower half of the page. And this is a song, it's taken from the last line of the Adon Olam, which in a way has that same theme of being gently protected by God. Biado of Kidruchi literally means I am placing my life, my spirit, in the hand of God for care and for being watched over. And we have a slight take on this because the person singing this is singing this from the Biado, from the Adon Olam, as if he is saying a prayer over his own young toddler daughter. Biado of Kidruchi.
As I lay you down to sleep, I pray to God your soul to keep in the shelter of God's wings. May you always be a blessing. May the angels guard your nights. May you wake in radiant light. May you
shine as stars above. May you always know love. Biyado avkid ruchi beit ishan v'yaira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira. As I lay you down to sleep, I pray to God your soul to keep in the shelter of God's wings. May you always be a blessing. May the angels guard your nights. May you wake in radiant light. May you shine as stars above. May you always know love. Biyado avkid ruchi beit ishan v'yaira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira. Adonai li velo ira. Sleep tight, my angel.
Top of page 46. V'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam oti le'olam v'shamro B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamro b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash V'shamro b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam. We rise to the silent Amida, pages 47 through 52, or perhaps offering a silent personal prayer of our own making in silence. I have a good story to tell, a good story to share today. 3 days ago, I was invited back to UMS yet again. This is the 6th time this year that I've been invited in to UMS Right to make some kind of a comment to address questions posed by students who are studying Holocaust. But this specific segment was a little bit different because in addition to the Holocaust class, which is juniors and seniors, we also had the freshman and sophomore European history class. And we also had the freshman, sophomore ancient history class. And I was told that any question is fair game from the ancient history studies class, which is fine because piece of cake, obviously I've studied that. And European history, piece of cake, I've studied that. And the Holocaust class. And what really excited me was that most of the students were very interested and very engaged. And I introduced myself and then fair game, any questions at all. And some asked, why is there so much anti-Semitism in the world? And these are ranging in terms of this little element, which really is brightly within my mind, ranging 9th to 12th grade. Why is there so much anti-Semitism in the world? And why does it take so many different forms? And they asked, do I know about Kanye? And I said, yes, I know about Kanye. And we discussed Kanye. And they asked, because they had been studying it, about the nature of political anti-Semitism, racial anti-Semitism. Are Jewish people a race? So we had a discussion about what it means to be Jewish. And it's a mixed class of racial background. And I said the Jewish people from all over the world. And we've got people in our synagogue, people in our community from different parts of the world. And we've adopted a synagogue in Uganda. And the people in Uganda who are Jewish, same prayers, similar prayer book, same traditions and ceremonies, don't look like me. And they were all paying attention. I said, so Jews are not a race. Well, then why do people talk about the Jewish race? And I talked about anti-Semitism and attitudes and preconceptions. And then one young lady, a very bright look in her eye, asked, could you just give me a quick explanation of the difference between Judaism and Christianity? Wow. Just a quick little explanation of the difference between And my thought was, oh my goodness, how do I answer this? Where do I start? And literally like standing on one leg. And she was bright, and she was engaged, and she wanted to know the difference. And obviously the whole class, these combined classes, perhaps 40 students. And I take for granted that they're all Christian. I imagine so. And so I said, well, let's start talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very important part of Jewish tradition. In fact, we have a holiday devoted to forgiveness where we're supposed to forgive each other and be forgiven by each other. And we also seek forgiveness from God. And if we don't forgive one another, then we are considered within our own minds as not having been forgiven by God. It's a very important holiday. And then I asked, who here plays basketball? A lot of hands go up. And I asked, what's the first thing your coach, and one of the teachers is also the JV and varsity basketball coach, what's the first thing your coach teaches when you take a shot? Keep your hand up, follow through. I said, yes. What's the second thing? Get ready for the rebound. Exactly right. Get ready for the rebound. Go run to the basket to catch the ball in case it doesn't go through and try again. And I said, of course you do. Of course you do. And I said, that's very similar to the Jewish idea of sin. Because when we make a mistake, we want to do better the next time. And when it comes to us, when we seek forgiveness, we deal between ourselves and others, ourselves and God. It's an involved relationship. If we don't grant forgiveness, if we don't receive forgiveness, then we feel that we are still bound by God for being responsible. If not, we start afresh. And we can do this every single day. In fact, we're supposed to do this every single day. but we have a holiday just to gain our attention, to remind us of the importance of the relationships that we have between ourselves, each other, and God. And it worked. It worked. So all these questions, but what really excited me was that these students were interested in and wanted to learn, wanted to know more about Jewish people, and they're taking seriously their classes in anti-Semitism and Holocaust. And what matters to me is that the teachers are interested, and the teachers are enthusiastic, and the teachers are teaching these classes every single year, and sometimes it becomes a slightly different form, a different teacher, a different framework, but they're of conviction to teach Holocaust and anti-Semitism at UMass Wright in Mobile. And I will continue to go as many times as I'm invited, because this is an opportunity to appreciate. That was Tuesday and Wednesday. This morning I went to the grocery store, and a young woman came up to me and said, "Rabbi, it's good to see you again." I had no idea who she was. I think she would be perhaps college. Maybe she's early 20s, I don't know. She said, "I remember you. You came to UMS and you talked about Holocaust." And this must have been 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago or more. And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't remember you." She said, "I'm so-and-so." I said, "Thank you very much." I said, "Gosh, you've changed." She said, "Well, some years have gone by since then." Everybody says that. But it left me on an upward tone. As much as we are distressed by the rising anti-Semitism, as much as we see this in our media, as much as we know that it is throughout the United States prevalent and around the world as well, there are still opportunities where each one of us as a neighbor can make a difference in the lives of a neighbor. And let us not ever underestimate the importance that one neighbor has as a capacity for making a touch of difference for the better, for care, for attention, and for respect on the part of another neighbor. Let us remember that. We rise for the Aleinu. The Aleinu on page number 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yosei haaretz umoshav yekaro b'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo b'govhei meromim hu Eloheinu ein od emet malkeinu efes zulato ka'katuv b'torato v'yadata yom v'ashevota el levavecha ki Adonai hua Elohim b'shamayim mima'al v'al haaretz mitachat ein od. Kakatu b'Toratecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'nemar, v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, Yehyeh Adonai echad, Shema echad. In a moment, Morris Kadosh on page number 58. On this Shabbos, we remember with great love Annie Stein, Minnie Adler, Mrs. Betty Simon, Harry Grodsky, Donald Schwartz, Roy E. Reiner, Isidore Maisel, Norman Buckman, Rufus Sizemore, Harris Lubell, Rains Watkins, Beatrice Susan Hirsch, Jacob Joseph Ratner, Polly Kramer, Esther Grossman Cohen, Katie Enton, Vi Burton, remembering Linda Bell. Are there any other names to mention this evening? Perhaps someone at home has a name to share as well. Those who are inclined to rise are invited to rise at this time on page 58. Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah. Amen. Be'olma divara chir ute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye t'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'izman kariv v'imeru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabah mivarach la'olam ol'olmei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'olma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim olenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom olenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. We extend our hearts to all those who are in grief at this time. And we'll conclude in a moment on page 211. It's been some time since we've sung Adon Olam on Friday evening, and so we're turning to page 211 for Adon Olam, and this is an upbeat melody, and after Adon Olam we'll make Kiddush and Hamotzi. The Adon Olam is on page 211. Robbie Sherwin is joining us this evening.
Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasav L'Chatz HaKol L'Zayin Elech Shemo Nigra Adon Olam Hashem Malach Ve'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu haya vehu hoved vehu yeh b'tivara Vehu yeh b'tivara Vehu echad ve'ein sheni la'am shelo la'achira Ve'li reshit ve'li tachlit ve'lo ha'oz ha'mizrach Ve'hu eli ve'chayko eli ve'msuchim li be'et zara Ve'hu nisi u'manos li me'nafasi b'yom ekra ראשון ועוד יראה ואם רוחי גביעתי אדונה לי ולא יראה ואם רוחי גביעתי אדונה לי ולא יראה
Shabbos, thank you for joining in. We hope to see you at some point in your future. Until we see each other, Lehitra Ot. We'll see you soon, hopefully, at some point. Please know that you're a blessing. You're loved. May God watch over you and keep you well.